Tonight there's going to be a candlelight vigil here at the church behind me. It's the Presbyterian Church in Danville, Kentucky. And the reason they're holding it is it's a vigil to raise awareness for drug addiction and help those that are either lost a loved one or to help those who are currently possibly losing a loved one to addiction. There's a group that's organized it, and their acronym is called FIGHT, and that acronym stands for Families Into Getting Help Together. And they've organized tonight to have a candlelight vigil somewhere about this church. And so it's supposed to take place in about another 30 minutes. So I thought I'd get some pictures, look around a little bit, and then hopefully we'll get to talk to some of the people that are coming for this candlelight vigil. We'll see you soon.
I'm Tony Ward.
And I'm Nick Rodas.
And we
are the fight team.
We have started because there is an absolutely outrageous epidemic. Drug addiction. We are a team built in Danville to help addicts and their families. And we are hosting a candle vigil. It's International Overdose Awareness Day. So we want to bring light to those who have lost their lives and to let them know they have not died in vain, and that we will fight to help put a stop to it.
And for those of you that don't know, it's real easy. We'll just look at the shirt. You know, we guard our hearts with our fight, which is Families Into Getting Help Together. As you can see, the letters there are golden because the best rules are golden. And if you'll notice on the back of my shirt, there's some rules there too. And this man just happened to ask us about it, so we just happened to tell him about it. We are interested in helping the individuals and the families who have been touched by the disease of addiction and the heroin overdoses in this county specifically. We reach out to individuals and families in an attempt to heal all the damage that was caused by those activities. Any other questions for us?
Well, how can they get a hold of you if somebody's wanting to reach you?
Well, there's a few different ways to do that.
Facebook.
Facebook is always a giveaway because there's Wi-Fi everywhere, right guys?
Absolutely. Right. Tony Ward, Nick Rodas, or look for Families Into Getting Help Together.
That's Families Into Getting Help Together. It's an acronym, FIGHT.
And so what do you do to help people that are either the families of someone who's drug addicted or someone that is drug addicted?
Well, the poetic nature of God is how we would describe that for you. Basically, if we saw a man laying dead on the street or dying on the street, we would pick him up, take him where he needs to go, and make sure that he gets what he needs. As far as those individual things, they are individual things, and so it depends on a case-to-case basis.
And we work with ASAP, Boyle County ASAP, and they have the funding to help. If we go to them and say, this person needs treatment, we are on the road, gas, whatever we need to get somebody into treatment. For the families that are affected, I am a family member that has been affected, so we provide anything they need from resources, help, grieving, if they need an ear to listen, anything that they can possibly think of, we can point them in the right direction. If we don't know, we know somebody that does know.
That's right.
But we are here to bring the community together.
If we don't know, we know a man that knows.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
And we fight for our community, and that's first and foremost.
Boyle County, for first and foremost.
First, I'd like to say on behalf of the FIGHT organization, we welcome everyone here tonight. We know that there's a problem in our nation, in our county, in so many places. But I truly believe as we come together in unity and we walk in love, we can solve this issue of overdose. We thank God for all the blessings that He has bestowed upon us as a county, as a city, and as a nation. So tonight we pause to remember the family members who have lost loved ones. We are here to comfort them, to share our own stories, and just to help support one another. So at this time we will have our invitation by Nick.
Thank you, Pastor Hunt. I would like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Once again, we appreciate everybody's support in this way. In case you didn't notice, you're standing on sacred ground. In case you didn't notice that, there's a sign right over there that says it. Not to mention it is a labyrinth. That's the thing about all of us, you know. I like how we can show up today, we can all light candles and help each other out of the labyrinth. Everybody understand what I'm trying to say? How else to help a man out of the dark place than with a candle? So with that, I would just like to ask that we have a spirit of understanding today for all of us. The brothers, the sisters, the mothers, the fathers, the lost, the found, the sick, and the healing. Not to forget our fallen. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Tonight I have the distinct honor and privilege to introduce our next speaker, who is Tony Ward, who I truly believe God has given her this vision for us to come together and fight the good fight. So Tony, you're up next.
Gnostic song.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for coming out. I know you all are here for a reason, just like I am. Y'all are tired of opening the newspaper and seeing that somebody else has died, or having somebody that you love going through something and feeling so helpless. And I'm beyond grateful that all of you all came out. Fight was started, and I've said this a million times, just Facebook. I never imagined it would get to this point. I was just sick and tired and didn't know what else to do. And next thing I know, I'm standing here in front of all of you, and I feel truly blessed to have gotten to know most of you. I have an amazing group that I consider family, that I have seen do things for people that I love. Okay.
It's all right.
But to see people dying and feeling so helpless and alone, this right here shows that they're not alone, and they don't have to be alone anymore. And we're here to put a stop to it, to do as much as we can. And for anybody that has lost anyone or is currently losing somebody that they love, I put together a tribute wall and the bluebirds for faith and hope and recovery, and just take a second to write anything to get off your chest, a prayer, a name, a message of any kind. Again, thank you. I had a whole thing planned, but Mossy just messed it all up. But I am very grateful. You all, most of you are friends with me on Facebook. This is not something that is ever gonna stop for me, because it has become such a huge part of my life, and I will not stop until there's some way that we can help addicts and their families, because I've never been an addict, but I have been addicted to helping an addict, so it's one and the same for me. And there needs to be support for families just as much as there is for the addicts. And I feel that that's where I come in. Like I said, I have an amazing group of recovering addicts and people that love addicts. So if I can't help on one aspect of it, I can point you to somebody that knows the other part. And I am blessed, and thank you all so much for coming. It means the world, and this is the next step to something greater. And if we stick together, I feel like this is something that can change Boyle County and all surrounding counties. Thank you. Next speakers, or? I'm going to introduce my little brother, Rob Rodriguez.
Well, as she said, I'm Rob, Tony's brother, and you're right. God did help her start this up. Most importantly, because Tony's also, part of a family that needed help from all sides of the spectrum. And I'm her brother. I'm an addict, and so she's loved me. Dealt with it on multiple fronts. But I can ramble on about me all night, but that's not what it's about. It's about these people behind me that, unfortunately can't live their lives anymore. I'm sort of a pro, I guess, when it comes to losing. Any addict will know. You lose stuff, you gain stuff, just to lose it all over again. I've lost anything that you can lose, I've lost it, and I'm only 24, so. But for the past 6 years, literally I've had 6 friends die since I was 19. It started December 25th, 2009, on Christmas morning. One of my best friends died, Overdose, and that's when it started. So that's why we're here tonight. It's just I hope I can do my part, raise awareness for the addict that's still suffering, or the family member that's still suffering, or whatever it may be. But all of us are here for the same reasons, because we lost somebody close to us, or we realize what's going on and what needs to happen, and it's great. It's a good thing. God bless everyone here. If anybody needs any help, if I can help you in some way, get a hold of me, get a hold of my sister, Nick, Susie, anybody, and we'll be, glad to help any way that we can. But that's my story. That's the page I'm on. Thanks everybody for being here, and God bless you guys. Amen.
Hello everybody, I'd like to thank everyone for being here tonight. Can everybody hear me? Yeah. My name is Jen Devine, and I'm here tonight. I am an alcoholic in recovery. I have been sober 11 months tomorrow.
Celebrate!
I'm really nervous, so bear with me here. She got a hold of me the wee hours this morning and asked me to share. And I just wanted to say it from my heart instead of preparing a speech or having something in my hand. I felt like something from right here would mean a lot more, especially in the light of what we're here for tonight. We've been losing a lot of the folks that we love. This drug and alcohol epidemic is no joke. But I stand here tonight and I tell you that it doesn't have to take our lives. It doesn't have to end this way. These poor folks here behind us that see on this wall, and many others whose names are unspoken, they're no longer with us. But I'll tell you something. Bubbles, Alejandro, when he passed, it was the 5th death that I've dealt with recently of someone that I cared about very deeply for, and it's pushed me to get involved in the community with Fight, with ASAP, being here and speaking, just being of service, telling my story. Sorry, I'm really nervous.
You're all right, girl. You got this.
You okay? But the first drink I ever took, I was 15 years old. My mother decided that she wanted to go out on New Year's Eve and that she was going to give me a bottle of wine as my babysitter. I didn't really like the way it tasted, but I really loved the way that it made me feel. Over the course of my life, I made horrible decisions. I was very selfish in my disease. I neglected things that were important to me. I was not the best person, but I want you to know that it was not the choice that I made. I was born this way. I had a brain disease, and something that I've learned is that addiction For me, my drug of choice was alcohol. For others, whether it's heroin, whether it's pills, marijuana, LSD, whatever your drug of choice might be, this disease, it wants us alone, it wants us dead. There is a program of recovery. I, myself, am an active member of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm not here tonight to represent Alcoholics Anonymous. I am just here to tell you that there is a God, and that
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
and that there is a program of recovery that works if you're willing to work it. I had my last drink one day at a time. I do this one day at a time. Some days it's really rough. Some days it's 1 minute at a time, an hour at a time. Sometimes it's 1 second at a time. But October the 7th, today was the last time that I've had a drink. And I know that I don't have to have a drink today. And tomorrow morning when I wake up and I say my prayers and my meditations, I'll ask God for another day of sobriety and thank Him for the day prior, for allowing me to be a nice, productive citizen of this community and to remember everything that I've done the night before. It's a really good feeling. There is hope. There is help out there. There's a program that you can work. I have a sponsor whom I love dearly, and I wouldn't be standing here before you today if I hadn't decided to make life choices and change the way that I was living my life. Up until October, I never had a higher power. I didn't believe in God. I wasn't a religious person. Those things exuded me. I was so wrapped up in my selfishness and what, you know, I wasn't living my life the way that God intended for me to. Today, I'm able to be there 1,000,000% for my children. I have guardianship of my siblings. You know, our mother passed a couple of years ago, and, you know, I have people that can depend on me today. And I don't know if anybody would like some information about meetings or would like to hear my story. You know, I could stand here all night long. I could tell you horror stories of my past. I could go on for hours and hours and hours, but that's not why we're here today. We're here today, I'm here to help you all see that, you know, we don't have to live in the problem. You know, that there is a solution. And we can live in that solution. And we don't have to let our demons possess us anymore. I don't know, I'm really honored to be here today, and I'd like to offer my deepest condolences to everyone here tonight and those that are not present for the loss of those that we've loved, whether it's a physical death. Sometimes in this disease, you know, you may not physically die, but I can tell you myself, if I were to pick up a drink tomorrow, that even though I might not physically die tomorrow, whether it be a car crash or, you know, whether I die of alcohol poisoning, I can tell you right now that my spiritual self will die. You know, my mentality, everything good in me will be gone, you know. So, you know, I have a brother right now that's in prison, you know, from addiction. I have lost an aunt and an uncle to this disease, you know, friends. I feel your pain, and I'm sorry, you know, that you're having to deal with this, and, you know, you're not alone. There is help. There are people that, you know, that care. I may not know each of you personally, but I can tell you right now that my heart pours out to you, and I love each and every one of you. And I'd like to thank you very much for allowing me to share, and if you'd like to, you know, pull me aside and, you know, ask me, you know, any questions, or if there's anything that I can do for you, I'll be glad to give you my phone number or lead you in the right direction. But I very humbly say thank you for allowing me to share tonight, and God bless each and every one of you. We have another speaker, Blake Hardin. Would like to go?
My name is Blake Hardin. I'm an addict. I'm nervous as a chihuahua. I'll throw that out there.
Be a chihuahua, brother. Be a chihuahua.
First, I want to start off with a poem that I wrote. I went to rehab, scared to death, thinking how I'll give it my best. I've been gone too long. I feel so ashamed. But only me. I'm to blame. I've lost some years. they're gone goodbye. I even lost the love of my life. I used to be blind, but now I can see. Drugs are no good, nor are they free. You'll pay the price, but not a dollar sign. You'll end up in jail, or worse, in hell. You'll neglect your children, such special things. Oh, how I wish I could have stayed clean. I've hurt my family, I've stolen and lied, all just to chasing that thing they call high. Why they call it that, I'll never know. Should have just called it being so low. A low life I was, but that's in the past. I've got God now, and safe at last. To my band of brothers, I thank you a lot. We ain't got to live like that no more, but that's so we're not. On June 20th this year, I was in Boyle County Detention Center. Some stuff I've done in the past finally caught up with me. A correctional officer came to my cell, said I had an emergency phone call. They needed me to come up front immediately. So I go with him. I get on the phone with my mom. My mom tells me this morning when she got up, she walked through the house and saw water flowing under the bathroom door. My child's mother, Alyssa Anderson, was unconscious underwater. She had overdosed and drowned to death. I know sometimes it takes a really dramatic thing for someone to want to do better. It did me. But I can honestly say, since that's happened, I am not going to use again, God willing. It's really hard every day playing with my son. My son telling me he wants to go for a ride in the car with his mom. And all I can tell him is, baby, she's in heaven. And he's only 3 years old. He doesn't understand what heaven is yet. But I've come to realize if I keep living like I was, my little boy's going to be saying, I want my daddy, and I'm not going to be there. I'll be 6 feet under the ground, just like Alyssa. This coming Tuesday will be my 90 days clean from drugs. And I've only made it this far from the man upstairs. I just want everybody to know that if you feel like there's no alternative way of life, like you're traveling down a dead-end road, there is a way. You just got to ask God to help you. But with that, that's all I got.